Every one of these coatings can be obtained without spending a single cent. But there's a catch. While you can spend black cards to obtain any of these, it might come at the cost of obtaining future characters. So in this video, I'm going to show you every gacha coding coming to PGR until roughly July 2025, including reruns, tell you how much they cost, and when exactly they're expected to come out, so you can prepare to the best of your ability. But first, it's important to explain what exactly gacha codings are and dispel some misconceptions about them. As implied by the name, gacha codings are skins that can only be obtained through a unique, limited time banner. These codings tend to be extra special in some ways and debut alongside a story that anyone can play through. They are always special effects codings. Gacha codings can be broken down into two categories: 10,000 BC codings and 17,500 BC codings. The latter tends to feature a unique intro animation, something that no other coding does, and also comes with a unique pose, a lobby background, and a player frame. Both types come with a player icon and matching weapon coding. You're probably thinking, I could get an entire S-rank character for 15,000 BC, that's way too expensive. And while it's certainly costly, it's not nearly as bad as it seems at first glance. On top of the rewards mentioned previously, these banners also feature things like yellow and red tickets to pull characters and weapons respectively, 6-star weapon resonance materials, and so on. Because you end up getting currency back, it ends up being less of a loss than you'd think. Let's take this Vera Garnet coding as an example. It's a 10,000 BC coding, but if you check the rewards, you'll see that along the way you'll end up with 500 yellow tickets and 200 red tickets, which already brings the net cost of the banner down to 9,300 BC. There's also the weapon resonance material, which, granted, many free-to-play players may not be bothered about, but getting it will save you an entire 6-star weapon duplicate. We could equate this to about 7,500 BC, the cost of a 6-star weapon pity, and if we do, that means the total cost of this banner is more like 1,800 BC, in a sense. Not to mention, you could always get lucky. As seen here, you have a decent chance of getting the coding before the final pull, potentially saving you some BC. Though you should always plan to go to pity and not take chances, as the pity does not carry over through reruns. Keep in mind that if you're a spender, you can also choose to use rainbow cards on these banners for a bit more cost efficiency. Now that we know what we're dealing with, let's get to the codings themselves. At 10,000 BC, this butterfly-themed outfit for Liv Imperia will be making a return. If you've missed the long hair her Eclipse frame has, or if you don't want to be flashbanged by her other codings, Dreamcatcher is well worth it. Originally rerunning in Source Beacon, it's getting combined into Global's integrated Stars Ensnared patch, which has another gacha coding debuting that may be more desirable. More on that soon. There's something else interesting about the integrated patch. Despite Global's Stars Ensnared lasting from January 10th to February 19th, 2025, the codings featured during this patch run all the way until April 2nd, 2025. Each integrated patch will be about 6 weeks long, so from this, we can guess that every coding will last for 2 integrated patches, or about 12 weeks. This includes rerun codings. Dreamcatcher will rerun from January 10th to April 2nd. But, as I said, it has some competition. Also releasing in the integrated Stars Ensnared patch is this long-awaited luxury coding for Lamia Lost Lullaby. Her best feature? Definitely those pointy elf ears. This is a 17,500 BC coding, which means Lamia is blessed with a unique intro animation, a very long and beautiful special pose, and one of the best lobby backgrounds in the game, in my opinion. Keep in mind, you need to have this underwater background and the coding set to see the special pose at any time. As this is a more expensive gacha, there are also better rewards. 2,500 yellow tickets and 2,500 red weapon tickets already bring the net cost of this gacha down to 12,500 BC. There's a weapon resonance material here too, which you could choose to value at 7,500 BC. You get the point. It's not as bad as the 17,500 BC price tag initially makes it sound. This wonderful coding runs from January 10th to April 2nd, but if everything follows the Chinese version, this won't be the last time we see this banner. Now we're heading into mysterious territory, as we don't yet know which future patches will be combined, so I'll be making some educated guesses. If you missed Neon Dynamite and need your idol fix, you're in luck, because this Karenina Sheer coding should be returning. It's a 10,000 BC coding. Since Neon Dynamite originally reran in the Chinese version's Soaring Beyond patch, that should mean we'll see it again around February 20th. If it sticks to the trend of running for 2 integrated patches, it will probably run until the middle of May. But you might want to save your BC if you're a big fan of Alpha. Capturing Alpha's original look but sharpening it into a Yakuza-themed outfit that is more badass than ever, this coding is one to watch out for. At a luxurious 17,500 BC, it's not cheap, but just like with Lamia's coding, there are some goodies on the banner to help offset the cost. I'm not exaggerating when I say this coding has some of the best special effects in the game. Combining red with cyan as it does gives every slash so much impact. The way her signature move drains every color but red from the screen? She still feels like the Lucia Crimson Weave we know and love, but sharper, more mature. The lobby background you can grab from this banner is immaculate too. So, when will it release? This coding debuted in Shaper's Ripples in the Chinese version, so I predict that it will release around April 3rd, right after the Stars and Snared codings finish up. If it does, it might just run all the way until the end of June. There's one thing you should be aware of before you invest in Alpha's coding, however. She may be the best lightning damage dealer right now, but the lightning tank Nanami Star Trail will actually become Lightning's main damage dealer when she debuts, which might be around May 2025. You'll need to decide if that makes this coding less desirable for you, but there's a decent chance this banner and Star Trail's release will overlap, so it might help to wait until she comes out to decide. Just 3 patches after Lamia's luxury coding debuted in the Chinese version, it was brought back. While it originally returned in Crescent Sun, I suspect that patch will be combined into Shaper's Ripples for global, which would mean if they brought this coding back then, it could potentially run consecutively for 24 weeks, and I'm just not sure Kuro would ever do that. I wouldn't be surprised if the rerun got moved to a later patch, or maybe I'm just incorrect about when Crescent Sun will come to global. I'm a little more confident about the next rerun. Once is not enough, so Solitary Dream will be getting a second rerun. We made an entire video to show off this Bianca Stigmata coding, which you should be able to find linked in the corner somewhere. As a luxury coding, Solitary Dream costs up to 17,500 BC and returned in to the galaxies on the Chinese server. This means we might see it rerun from May until August in global. But while this Bianca is pure as snow, the next lady on this list is anything but. This next coding breaks some previously established trends. Despite this demonic Luna Oblivion coding being on a 10,000 BC banner, it actually debuts alongside a matching lobby background. But the background can only be picked up for 68 rainbow cards. While this has the benefit of letting players grab the background while skipping the coding if they want, it unfortunately means free-to-play players will never own it. But it's not all bad. It does mean this coding stays relatively cheap as far as gacha codings go. This is great news if all you've ever wanted is for Luna to feed you like a mama bird, which is all I can think of when I see this coding special pose. Luna's demeanor in this coding is quite a bit more sassy than usual. Instead of an icy expression, she's wearing a teasing smile. And if you like purple, you're going to be very happy with the special effects. This coding debuted in the Chinese version's Wither to Shine patch, which, by my estimate, means the coding could rerun from around May to August. But don't take my word for it on any of these future dates, I'm feeling around in the dark here. And that takes us to the end of our current knowledge as of the posting of this video, cutting off our foresight around June or July. Lilith's patch has just come out in the Chinese version, and that has no gacha coding in it, but I'm sure we'll see more before 2025 is done. Click the video on screen to learn about which older PGR characters are worth pulling for. Also, please look at this amazing fan art, it's so cute, oh my gosh!